Our planet is a water world. It's covered in oceans. And yet, the vast, dark depths remain one of our last true frontiers. So today, we're diving into a really strange and honestly unsettling theory about why we suddenly stopped exploring it, right at the peak of our curiosity. I mean, just think about this for a second. It's an incredible paradox, right? We've sent rovers to Mars, we've mapped its surface in stunning detail, but the world right here, beneath the waves, for the most part, it's a complete blank space on our own map. And this is why. A staggering 80% of our own ocean is completely unmapped, unobserved, and unexplored. It is without a doubt the largest, most mysterious environment on Earth, a realm of total darkness and absolutely crushing pressure. For decades, the ocean was it. It was humanity's final frontier, our ultimate challenge. And then, almost overnight, everything changed. The big question is, why? Were we just excited about reaching for the stars, or were we running from something down in the deep? Okay, so this brings us to a really pivotal moment in the history of exploration. The year is 1958, and a decision gets made that's going to divert humanity's gaze from the abyss right below us to the cosmos way up above. So just look at this timeline. Before 1958, oceanography was the cutting edge. That's where the action was. But on July 29th of that year, NASA is born, and almost immediately, massive funding, government focus, the world's brightest minds, they all pivot away from the ocean and pour everything into the space race. The deep was just left behind. Now, this is where a pretty wild fringe theory pops up to try and explain that sudden shift. It's called the scare, and it basically suggests this wasn't about competition at all. It was a retreat. The theory goes that those first early deep-sea mapping missions, the first real attempts to chart the ocean floor, well, they found something that warned us away. All right, let's dive into the first piece of really strange evidence that fuels this whole theory. It's a sound from the deep that, to this day, defies any easy explanation. So back in 1997, underwater microphones that are run by NOAA, that's America's ocean agency, they picked up this incredibly powerful, super low-frequency sound. The weird part is, its audio profile sounded organic, like an animal call, but it was way, way louder than the call of a blue whale, which is the loudest animal we've ever known. Just how loud are we talking? Well, the sound was so immense, so powerful, it was detected by sensors that were spread across 3,000 miles of ocean. I mean, just try to imagine the kind of energy you'd need to do that. And here's where it gets really startling. Scientists did the math, and they figured that for a biological sound source to be that loud, the creature making it would have to be at least 250 feet long. To put that in perspective, that's bigger than any dinosaur we've ever found, bigger than any animal known to have ever existed on Earth. Now, of course, there's an official explanation. Years later, NOAA came out and said the sound was an ice quake, basically a massive iceberg cracking and breaking away from Antarctica. A perfectly plausible, completely non-biological answer. But, that explanation has never fully satisfied everyone, especially because that initial sound profile was so similar to a living creature. That contradiction is what keeps the mystery alive. Was it just ice, or was it something else entirely? Okay, now let's go to the most extreme environment on our entire planet. A place where the pressure is so intense, it actually seems to change the rules of life itself. Down in the Challenger Deep, the deepest part of the Mariana Trench, the water pressure is over 1,000 times what we experience at sea level. That's literally like having 50 jumbo jets stacked right on top of you. It's just unimaginable. But here's the thing. Life doesn't just survive down there. It thrives in some really bizarre ways. We see this proven biological phenomenon called deep-sea gigantism. The extreme conditions actually cause certain creatures to grow to enormous, massive sizes compared to their relatives up in the shallows. So, scientifically, the deep is a place that verifiably grows giants. So what happens when our most advanced technology goes into this unknown realm? Well, let's look at an incident from 1968 that's still shrouded in mystery, the loss of a nuclear submarine. The USS Scorpion and its entire crew of 99 just vanished in the Atlantic. Now, the official story blames a tragic technical failure, but there's another theory, one that's fueled by some strange acoustic data from the time, and it suggests a collision with a USO,
an unidentified submerged object, something moving at impossible speeds beneath the waves.
Okay, so we've got an impossible sound, a realm where giants are real, and top-secret submarines that vanish without a trace. How do all these strange clues connect back to that sudden race for the stars in 1958?
The whole theory really hangs on one simple, undeniable fact. The ocean is the perfect shield. Its dense water blocks almost all light and all radio waves. It is the one place on Earth where something truly massive, maybe something ancient, could exist completely hidden from our view.
So here it is, the whole narrative laid out. First, early deep-sea mapping detects something we can't explain. Then, our most advanced vessels start having these unsettling encounters. And finally, in a sudden, really dramatic shift, humanity turns its back on its own planet's greatest frontier and makes a desperate dash for the sky.
Which leaves us with one last, very provocative question. Was the space race really about exploration and discovery? Or was it the beginning of humanity's great escape from something lurking in that 80% of our world that we have never, ever seen?